You're listening to After the Review.
After the review.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back here for week number 9 of Backyard Bookies. I'm your host, Peter. Joining me, as always, is my man, Scott. Scott, strong comeback week for you last week. I know you want to yell at me for some reason. I don't know why, but
I mean, I kind of want to yell at you, Pete, but I give you a little bit of leeway here because you're almost 0-5, helped out my 4-1 with Josh Allen scoring that touchdown with like a minute left. So I was pretty ecstatic about that.
I should have been 0-5. Let's be realistic. There was no reason for the Bills to run a play. I had every right to be down.
Absolutely should have been 0-5. Absolutely.
And it wouldn't even have got to that because Brian Flores is a dickhead taking a knee or going for 2 down 14 for no reason to cut it to 6. I'm glad they rubbed it in. I'm glad there's some hate between the Bills and the Dolphins. I love to see it. Love to see the vinegar, salt and vinegar. I love it every day. Also, Josh Allen on Monday Night Football with the Mannings was A+ gold material. So that made me.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that. I was watching the normal telecast of the game.
Shouldn't do that. I'm not
really big on the Manning thing. Not really big on
Really? You're the only person.
I kind of like hearing the announcers talk, not the Mannings, but I still watch it, but it's one watching.
Could watch them talk.
I mean, they've had good guests on, but
they could talk football all day. I could listen for days.
They can talk football.
That's all I want to hear. But it was great. Basically, Peyton Manning's son likes Josh Allen more than Peyton Manning. So that's all he needed to get from that, which is hilarious. So, 4-1 for you. Good week. Let's run it down. You missed the under in the Michigan State game. I appreciate that because
I think everyone in the entire world missed that one. I'm pretty sure most people were going to pick the under. It was 50.5. I think Big Ten defense. Everyone was probably thinking, let's go ahead and take the under, and they absolutely blew that out of the water by like the first third of the third quarter. It was already pretty much over and out. So they scored 70 points and 50.5. So
I don't think anybody was ready for the day that Michigan State was about to have on the ground. I don't think anybody.
No. And those Heisman odds have skyrocketed.
You gotta expect they are the number 3 team in the land now. Oh, but you did hit the under in the Texas Baylor game, 61.5. Hashtag Monkeygate for those that pay attention. Things are going well at the University of Texas. Washington State covered the 16 point line. Did they win that game? I don't think they won that game, but they covered. Fresno
State did win.
Did they win?
They did win. Yep.
Wow.
They won 34-21.
Wow, shocking. So easy cover.
It's actually a shit housing.
Wow.
I think Wazoo was up like 24-0 at half. They were shit housing.
I don't get the Pac-12. The Pac-12 is a conference I do not get at all, as we'll see by my picks. Fresno was the one you hit. Was that your lock, Fresno State, I believe?
That was my lock.
And they covered. They won outright. You were all over that one.
Handily. Yep.
Easily. And then, like you said, Josh Allen, anytime touchdown, thanks to that last play on third down inside the 2-minute warning. Could have taken a knee, and for some reason they ran quarterback boot.
I mean, you got to get those MVP votes. You got to get that extra rushing touchdown. You're not gonna win MVP over Tom Brady if you don't get that extra rushing touchdown.
Or Stat Padford or Mighty Mouse in the desert there. So. Let's see, you're 5-3 on the season on locks. You had $158 last week, bringing your grand total to $1,348 for the season. Excellent work. You have now surpassed me. As again, I'm gonna get a little bit off the hook here. I told everybody this is my worst week I felt for picks, and it went that way. Iowa plus 3.5 got blown out. Big Ten, they suck. UCLA plus 6.5, they lost. They suck. Stanford at home, minus 2.5. They lost. Another trash team. Pac-12 is just garbage. I don't know how Oregon's ranked so high. And then I called this one, Carson Wentz under 33.5 passes. He was well over that, and they lost that game because of it. So I'm okay. I did hit my lock with the Bills, so I am ahead on locks. 6-2 on locks for the season. Won a grand total of $2 last weekend. So
that's a winner, baby.
That's a winning week.
That's some hard-earned imaginary dough there.
That's strategic. I min-maxed my output last week. I knew where I was bad, but bringing my grand total to 1263. Pretty good. I'm a little bit behind you, but I think we're going to make it up this week. What's your first game for us, Scott?
Well, as you know, Pete, I like to bet kind of obscure games, especially with the over-unders. I do love my New Mexico Lobos, but they did play a team. The one team they did beat, the Wyoming Cowboys. They're playing Colorado State. Wyoming's at home. Over-unders 41. Spread is Colorado State minus 3.5. I mean, head-to-head, it's kind of been over-under, but for some reason, I'm feeling the under, baby. Feeling the under here. I mean, that's kind of our motto on this podcast. You gotta keep on betting the under. Sorry, Barstool, but we're the complete opposite of you. We're taking unders on this pod. We don't like offense on this pod, so
we root against. Why root for somebody when you can root against them?
Exactly. So they did go against San Jose State last week. They put up a total of 48. Over-under was 40.5. I mean, San Jose State, whatever. But the last 4 games before that with Wyoming, it's been under. And in Colorado State, they've kind of been actually last 3 games they've been under. So it's
good.
For some reason, they don't like to score. I don't know what it is. 41 is a low number, but for some reason, I've been picking these unders that are just absolutely absurd. These kind of like NFL type scoring over unders that usually in the 40s, like barely even in the 50s, sometimes in the 30s, upper 30s.
You've been hitting them though.
Most of the time,
they've been money.
So I'm going to continue with that. Over under 41. I'll take the under. Colorado State, Wyoming. I'll go 33 to win 30 on that one. Feeling pretty good. I love my under. So let's root for root against to no offense in that one.
Root against people being good at football. All right, I'm going down to the SEC this week. Not a rare non-conference game this early in November. I know you like to say bet the best quarterback. I don't know who the best quarterback in this game is. We have Liberty at Ole Miss this week. And this is a very interesting game. Both quarterbacks are outstanding. Both quarterbacks are probably going to be top picks in the draft. You know, it's a weaker draft for NFL quarterbacks, but both guys they can sling the rock down there. I'll give them that. Liberty's getting 9.5 points here. Ole Miss did not look good last weekend against, was it Mississippi State last weekend that they got shellacked by? Who shellacked Ole Miss last week? Auburn shellacked them. That's right. That was the big rank game at Auburn, and they got shellacked. They couldn't move the ball at all. Liberty been really looking good, beating up on UMass, beating up on UNT. They did slip up a little bit against UL Monroe, which is a little, but they score points. The key to the game is score points. Ole Miss is going to score points. They're going to score points. That's going to keep you in this game. 9.5 points I'm getting here on the road. It's a big number for a team that can score points. I think Ole Miss wins this game. I do think that the talent will win out, but I do like Liberty here. I know, God, it's got to be pretty heavily favored. 66% of the people on Ole Miss, see? But the Sharps are on Liberty. I know the Sharps are on Liberty here.
What's the over-under in that one?
The over-under in this one,
I feel like that one's going to be a shootout.
67, so not as high as you would think. Yeah, you would.
I feel like it might be in the 70s. But
yeah,
we'll see.
That might be over for somebody to nibble at right there. But like I said,
I can't take the over in this podcast.
You can't take it. You might get.
Those are for the other people. That's not on brand for this.
No. Yeah. So yeah, I like Liberty here, getting 9.5 points. I like Ole Miss to win the game, but like you said, probably better quarterback at Liberty, so that's going to keep them in this game. Very high scoring game too. So yeah, I got to avoid that backdoor. Backdoor blowout when Liberty's trying to cut it close. You know, you're like in a 7-point game and you throw that backdoor pick 6. Don't need any backbreakers from you. So, yep, I'm going to go 22 to win, 20 starts off here.
All right. Sounds good. For my second pick, I'm actually going to make a very loyal listener of this podcast a little more happy because I've been shitting on his team the past,
oh boy,
say about 8 weeks.
Oh.
Baylor and Texas Christian. In Frogland, as most people know, Gary Patterson was canned from TCU. He is gone. He is out.
20 years.
Also, when we look back a few weeks ago, Wazoo did fire all their staff pretty much.
All
and
of them.
They came out and played a really good game against BYU. They ended up covering. Over-under this week is the spread is Baylor -7 at home. Baylor's a 7-1 team. They just kicked the shit out of Texas. TCU's 3-5. Hasn't had a great year so far. For some reason, I'm seeing 7 points here. I feel like Baylor should probably be a little more of a favorite, even though TCU's playing at home. I think I'm going to take TCU +7. I don't feel great about this one because I don't like ever betting TCU for a few.
They're a bad
reasons,
team.
they stink, and also certain listeners of this podcast. But in this case, 93% of the bets are on Baylor. 93%. Think about that.
It's a lot.
That is absurd.
It's a big percentage.
Vegas is Vegas for a reason. There's a reason they have very large hotels. That's the reason they have billions of dollars in revenue. 93% will probably not win this game, and 93% of those people will lose money, and that'll go to Vegas. So, in this case, I'm taking TCU with the 7% of the people. +7, 33 to win 30. Make one of the loyal listeners a little happier. He's been a little mad that I've been shitting on his team the past few weeks. Last times I bet him. So, TCU +7, 33 to win 30.
Well, guess what? I'm in that 93%. Baylor -7. I got 33 to win 30. Baylor is going to destroy TCU right here. Looking for a new head coach for the first time in 20 years. TCU is 1-6-1 against the spread this year. Baylor, on the other hand, 6-2. Like you said, absolutely strong performance against Texas in the second half. Another double-digit lead blown by the horns. I love the Baylor Bears in this spot here. TCU is bad. They're going to be a real punching bag. It was way too emotional for the Horned Frogs last weekend. I heard everybody was hysterical crying after the game. It's going to be an easy letdown for them. Baylor's trying to win this conference right now, and it's all in front of them. They still got Oklahoma on the schedule. They're sitting pretty in second place. Baylor's not going to let an easy one slip up here. They're going to take care of business, I think, in Fort Worth. Let's be honest. It's like 10 people at that stadium. I mean, TCU they call it Purple Baylor, as they like to say. There's probably going to be more Baylor fans than TCU fans there. They've given up on this football team. It's a bad team. I love the Bears in this spot, so I like that we got a little head-to-head action here. Vegas doesn't get them all right, and that 93% I'm feeling comfortable with. Bears comfortable. -7, 33 to win 30. I am very comfortable in this spot right here.
Very, very interesting. I mean, I love the head-to-head, and I love that 93% of the bettors are on Baylor. That's just bias for you. That's just what have you done for me lately bias, and sometimes that does not pay off. Sometimes it does.
Hey, what have you done for me lately is 7-1. They're 7-1. So it's not a bad football team. It's a very good football team.
Yeah, but I mean, Texas, they kicked the shit out of them. But this week's a new week. It's happened.
You're hoping that there's some morale left in that Horned Frog program.
I'm hoping there's a little bit of energy left. Maybe they're trying to trying to win for Gary. I don't know, but 7 points didn't seem like enough. So I just feel like Vegas kind of knows that TCU might be coming out to play. It's gambling. So does anybody really know anything? I don't know.
I mean, the refs know.
I'll take the Frogs.
The refs.
The refs can be bribed.
The refs do know the outcome of the game, according to some. All right, yeah. What's your next one?
So kind of going back on kind of what I totally forgot I picked this game after saying what I said in the first on the first little.
Sounds like we got an over coming.
I think we know it's coming now. UNLV, New Mexico.
Oh, not the Lobos.
UNLV is 0-8. New Mexico beat Wyoming. Good for them. They're killing the game right now. 3-5. They are actually a favorite in this game. Blows my mind. New Mexico's ever favored by anything in any game, but they are. UNLV must be that fucking horrible. But so -2 New Mexico. Over under is 45.5. Man. These are some bad teams. Bad football teams. If UNLV has any sort of defense, if they put 11 men on the field, I feel like they'll probably break that under because I don't think UNLV is going to score whatsoever. Mexico might get 10 points.
We're looking at another 14-3 game.
10-0 victory for your Lobos. We're going to take the under, 45.5. 45.5. Love it. I think that's maybe way too many points. I think it might be in the 20s. It's actually funny. It looks like a lot of the pros on here are picking the over here.
They don't know your Lobos like you do. They don't know them.
They don't bet my Lobos like I do. You know, they don't follow New Mexico like I do. Have they played each other? Let's see if they played each other. They've played each other. Okay, they played each other in 18. New Mexico won 50-14. It's a different.
New Mexico scored 50 points.
Matter.
I think it's a different team.
Last 4 out of 5 for New Mexico have been under. UNLV has been actually only 2 out of 5 have been under, but they got their shit canned by Nevada. And then they got 38 points against Fresno, and then 27 against San Jose State. They actually put up 20 against San Jose State, but still only 47 points. It'll be a struggle. I will not be watching this game. I will definitely be watching the ticker on this one. Maybe, let's see, what time is this game at? It's at 5 o'clock. Definitely not watching it. Phil's at 9:30 or something like the last New Mexico game I saw at the bar. Might be watching it. Definitely not watching it because the A&M game will be on. Plus many other games that are much more better than
How can you not? We need to be sponsored by a New Mexico program over here.
Got some hookups with New Mexico. I might be able to figure that out. 45.5. Gotta take the under. Got to.
Only people that bet him.
This is as close to a lock as
you're gonna get.
Not being a lock as it gets here, but 45.5. 44 to win 40 because I love my Lobos.
He loves the Lobos. He loves Lamb.
I hate offense. 44.5 win 40.
All right. I'm going to the NFL this week. Let's go to the mediocre state of Ohio. Got the Browns at the Bengals. A lot of noise going on in that Cleveland locker room this week. OBJ is no longer a part of the team, even though he's still on the roster. Kevin Stefanski, head coach, said consider him basically dead. So Baker, I'm sure, is running his mouth of some sort. He looked bad. They looked just terrible against Pittsburgh. Baker is who we thought he is, just a little bit more athletic Case Keenum. Really doesn't have arm strength. His accuracy is waning. Doesn't make good decisions. People in Cleveland want to blame the play calling all they want. It's just a disaster. Cincinnati, on the other hand, they were riding high and they got their sent back down to earth by the New York Football Jets and Mike White, the GOAT over here. Did you see this, man? Some guy bet $1,000 on Mike White to lead the league in passing last week. $125,000 payout.
Made more money than Mike White did that
He
day.
made almost more than double by what Mike White made that day. So we need to be hitting bets like that. Scott, those are the bets we need. I just want to know how much money that guy has to just throw $1,000 essentially away.
$1,000 on Mike White.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He's just Mike White's. It was actually Mike White's dad. That's what the whole thing was. Whole secret. So anyway,
Joe Burrow betting, just like Joe Burrow's dad betting to win the Heisman when he was like 50 to 1 or something.
Yes. He
was
was
only Joe Burrow's dad would do that.
I think there was 2 tickets and one of them was Joe Burrow's dad for $200 for Joe to win the Heisman. So good for that. Joe Burrow's back. They got knocked down to earth. They were up double digits in this game, and they let it get out of hand late in the game. The defense was the problem. It was not the offense. Cleveland's offense is a train wreck. I think this is a great matchup for the Bengals in division at home. It's only 2.5 points. I think people are selling their Bengals stock after a loss to the Jets. I'm not. The Titans lost to the Jets. It's the NFL. It happens every week. Titans are a good football team. Rest in peace to the King, who's out for the season for them now. But until then, they've been dominating. So I think the Jets just like to beat good teams. The Jets are 2-0 against teams with winning records. Tom Brady's 1-2, so that's all you need to know. The Jets just show up against winners. So I like the Bengals here. I am a little hesitant because it is in division, so those teams know each other very well. But I think the wheels might be falling off in that Cleveland locker room. Way too much noise for me, especially it's not a veteran leader type quarterback. Baker Mayfield's not the kind of guy I think handles adversity well, especially in the locker room with the talk. Offensive guys are banged up. Landry's out in, who knows. Chubb's still banged up. I think this is a good spot for the Bengals here to really take advantage of the Browns' woes on offense. So I'm going with the Bengals -2.5 at home, 22 to win 20.
Alrighty. Well, I'm staying in the NFL as well. I'm going to stay on that trend I had last week. Another anytime touchdown bet, but we're going to switch it up a little bit. We haven't had one of these yet on this podcast. We're going to have a little parlay.
Oh, here he goes.
A little parlay in there. So we're going to have 2 anytime touchdown bets. First bet will be Damian Harris with the New England Patriots. He has had 5 touchdowns in the past 4 weeks.
I don't know if I can trust the Patriots running back. I don't know if I can trust him.
Never can, but 5 touchdowns in the past 4 weeks. I think the Patriots are starting to kind of figure out that he might be the main guy there. There's not too many workhorses in the NFL, but Damian Harris has been showing that he's he wants the ball, and he wants the ball near the goal line, and he wants to score. So I think it's it's pretty much a 1-to-1 bet plus 100. And then the second leg in this parlay is actually going to be your boy, Alvin Cook. Dalvin Cook has he's coming off an okay game against Dallas. Didn't have a touchdown on that one, but he was minus 130. Feels like he's going to do okay against Baltimore. Baltimore's rushing defense isn't very good, and I think Kirk Cousins will probably figure out that your boy Kirk, he's been playing well, but I think he needs to give the ball more to Dalvin. Maybe dump it off to him a little bit.
We
had a tough one against
I don't know,
against the Cowboys.
This team could totally implode on Sunday. Just a heads up. This game could be 40-0. They want their head coach fired.
Well, as long as it's 40-7, that's all that matters to me. I don't give a shit about that. As long as it's 40-7 and Dalvin gets a touchdown. Minus 130. We're going to parlay the plus 100 and minus 130, and that's going to come to a plus 255. I'm going to put 30 down to win 76.5 on that one.
It's a little bit risky. I like it.
I mean, haven't thrown a parlay on this podcast yet. Anytime touchdowns are always fun to watch, especially last week with our boy Josh scoring with a minute left in the game. I thought it was
no time.
All said and done, and
dead.
He threw me $50. So ended up having a good week. Maybe it'll be something like that this week too. But so yeah, 100 plus 100 on Damian, minus 130 on Dalvin, and then we'll parlay those 30 to win 76.5.
Okay, so I know we like to say Vegas is usually they know what they're doing. And I tend to agree. Vegas is actually beyond knows what they're doing. It's amazing how close they get games within the accurate score. I'm a little head scratched at this line right here. Cardinals at the Niners. Cardinals are 7-1, coming off a loss against the Packers at home on Thursday night. Say what you want about the loss. Bad loss, not a good loss. It happens. It's football. They're still a top team in this league, let alone the division. They own the Niners. Cliff Kingsbury was 2-0 against them last year. Pretty good. He was 1-2 against them the year before when the Niners went to the Super Bowl. So Cliff Kingsbury and the Cardinals like playing against the Niners. I'm getting 1.5 here. I'm getting 10 days off. They played last Thursday. I think people are overhyping the Niners here because they beat up on the Bears. The Bears are really bad. They're the worst defense in football. Oh, no, the worst offense in football. Justin Fields has not been good at all. So I don't really take any stock into that. They still gave up 22 points to the Bears offense, not well above their average. What are they going to do with Kyler Murray? Kyler Murray's going to be able to score points all day against this defense. I'm not a believer in the Jimmy G train. I just don't think this offense is very coordinated and cohesive. They're going to have to run the ball. Cardinals did an okay job against the run against Aaron Jones there, especially when they kind of knew it was going to have to be Aaron Jones. I think they did a relatively good job there. And they like beating the Niners. Like I said, Cliff Kingsbury 3-1 against the Niners since he's been in Arizona. This is the spot here. I'm getting 1.5 on the road. I love it with the Cardinals, but I don't love it too much. So 22 to win 20. But yeah, that's where I'm going with. I'm going with the Birds.
All right, so
lock it up.
We've all been waiting for here. It's probably not super surprising about the pick I'm about to have.
It's BYU.
It actually went up a little bit before. Line actually went up by 1.5. That doesn't make me feel much better. But I did pick it on Monday. It's gone up 1.5. Utah, Stanford.
The
Utah
Pac-12
is at Stanford. We know Stanford has beaten Oregon, even though the committee doesn't care about
that. Didn't happen. That never
losses
happened
against bad teams.
That never happened.
Threw them on number 3. I guess it didn't happen. I don't know. Poor Cincinnati. They just win football games, but don't get any credit. UTSA undefeated.
3-loss Wisconsin ranked over them.
UTSA 8-0 or 9-0, whatever they are, unranked. So anyway, Utah, Stanford. Utah is very underrated. I can say that firsthand. I watched them with Charlie Brewer. It was an absolute shit show against BYU. I think it was against BYU. They switched finally against. And they put Cam Rising in. Cam Rising has been a Pac-12 Player of the Week maybe once at least. Looked really, really, really good last week. Looked really, really good in the game I went to against Arizona State. He can run. He can throw. They are at Stanford, but I got him at 7. It's at 8.5 now. I will take Utah -7. I think this isn't a bias pick, people. I know I'm
bias.
Utah.
Unbelievable.
I'm wearing the Jazz. I'm wearing the Jazz gear, but I really think Utah is going to have an absolute just fiesta with this game. It's going to be I think it could be a 17-point win, 20-point win. Utah is a solid football team. Very underrated. They might be ranked over UTSA at some point as well. They keep winning. I might even say they might even beat Oregon. They could beat Oregon in a couple weeks. Very possible, but -7. It's 8.5 now. It's going to be a little tougher for some people to get 7, but I'd even be confident in 8.5. So I'll take 7. For the sake of the lock, if we have to go 8.5, we can go 8.5. But we'll take Utah swallowing the points
on the road.
100 to win 91.
I hate the Pac-12. I can't bet the Pac-12 anymore. It's off my list. They're off my list.
It's also a game tomorrow too. So we're gonna get this
Friday night.
We're gonna get this lock rolling into Saturday. So
strong stuff. It'll set the tone for the rest of the weekend. That's for damn sure. But I also have my lock on Friday night. This is probably a first money bet. You talk about the state of Utah. They got the Utah Jazz. They're tied for first place in the Western Conference with a certain team. You may have heard of them, the Golden State Warriors. I don't get this line here. This might have been an early get, and that's why I got it so good. It has gone up significantly. The New Orleans Pelicans are at the Golden State Warriors tomorrow night. The line was 3 points, -3 for the Warriors. I hammer in that. It is currently up to 6 for Golden State. So people kind of saw this line and said, what the hell? The Pelicans are 1-8 on the season. Brandon Ingram is also questionable with a hamstring. So even if he plays, I don't know if he's 100% or not. He may not. He may sit. Who knows? Golden State is back to what they used to be. They got a good young group of guys around with that old core. Klay Thompson's not even back yet. I kind of like Golden State to win the West outright at this point when Klay comes back. But yeah, I think this is an easy pick for me. At home, Golden State played 2 days ago, so did New Orleans. Pelicans are just bad. They don't have any good guard play. Zion's 300 pounds. I don't know if we're even going to see him. I think he's played 1 game so far. This feels like a cakewalk for Golden State to me. I mean, it's only 3 points at home. They've been blowing teams out. The last game, blew out Charlotte, which was a big win for them. Took care of OKC. They lost to Memphis, but that was a close game. Again, Memphis, another good team. So they're doing their job. I think the Pelicans are just terrible as it is. They have no coach. They have no team unity whatsoever. So this feels like an easy Friday night, comfortable game. Going to have a nice packed crowd. The fans are feeling it. Vaccine and all. I don't even know what the status is in San Francisco, but hopefully they'll have people there watching the game. The chef is back. Curry's been cooking it up. I like it a lot. So that's my lock of the week. Golden State, -3, 100 to win 90.
There's another certain listener of this podcast that will be really, really thrilled with that pick. But,
that's good.
Very thrilled.
All right. We got a new segment this week, Scott. New segment.
Is that right?
New segment for the viewers.
Or listeners.
Viewers, listeners, whatever.
On your certain platform.
I personally prefer the viewers because I do throw in some comical edits every now and then, and they're a blast to watch, people say. But we're going with the Bears upset of the week.
Job by Jordan Wade and Emmanuel Beal. Jordan Wade, 305. The senior played in all 13 games a year ago.
Man knows his college football. He knows his upsets. I've witnessed this man make picks left and right. His analysis is pretty spot on. He knows what he's talking about. So he's going to give us a straight upset this week to bet or not bet. It's just out there for you people. If you want to get real spicy on the money line here, we're going to the Big Ten. His upset of the week: Nebraska, Ohio State. Nebraska at home against the Buckeyes. They've lost 6 straight to Ohio State. This is why he likes it to turn around. Blake Martinez, Adrian Martinez, whoever the Martinez is playing quarterback for Nebraska this year, he's going to have the game of his life. He loves it. He says this is it. Says he's going to be running all over the place. Ohio State struggles with mobile quarterbacks. Hint, hint, hint. I also like this analysis from him. Nebraska's been actually very strong against the spread this year. They haven't beaten anybody, but they've been very close. Lost a close game to Michigan, lost another close game to Penn State. They are right there. So he is going for his upset. Ohio State to lose to Nebraska. The money line here, let me just pull up this money line straight up. Plus 487, the Nebraska Cornhuskers at home against the Ohio State Buckeyes. He is not buying Ohio State's this week. So yeah, that's our new little quick segment, little quick breakdown. Bears upset of the week. All right, head to head.
Go ahead. I mean, as some people know this pod, I do absolutely hate Nebraska. So if I had any imaginary money to bet on this game, I would not pick Nebraska. But he knows his football. So I guess we'll see if the Cornhuskers can pull it out. Should be interesting.
It's going to be one of those things like, you know how he's going to be like Joel Klatt, the almost upset of the week.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I'm not liable. I didn't say it was an upset. I said it was going to be an almost upset. Almost. All right, head to head. There's one ranked game in college football this week, and I know you hate doing it. It is going against all your rules. It is Auburn A&M in College Station. We kind of have to pick it. It's the only ranked.
Yeah, I almost when I saw your text today, I almost had to have a little filibuster on this one and stand up and say no way, not happening. But when you said we can pick the over/under,
we'll do the over/under. Make you feel better.
It's a little better. I'm not picking the spread. I absolutely refuse to do that. It's against all my policies, procedures, morals. Everything.
It's the only ranked game. How are we this late in the season and this is the only ranked matchup we got?
Because UTSA is unranked.
Fair enough.
I don't know who UTSA is playing, but that's horrible.
They're playing UTEP, so there you go. It's probably their toughest game. UTSA beats UTEP. They're probably going to run the table.
That actually might be their. That actually really might be their hardest game.
That is their hardest game left, I think, from a record.
What UTEP's like 5-2,
6-2 UTEP.
Yeah,
so
not bad.
All right. Over/under A&M Auburn game. The over/under is 49.5 currently. What do you got?
What do you think I'm taking, Pete?
He's sticking on brand and taking.
What do you think I'm going to take?
He's taking the under.
What is this podcast?
He's taking the under.
49.5, 7 touchdowns. Zach Calzada, Bo Nix sucks ass. Texas A&M defense is pretty solid. 12 against 13 is going to be a pretty good matchup. I think 49.5 too many points. It's going to be more like a 24-21 kind of game, maybe 27-21 maybe. Hopefully the Aggies will pull it out, but I don't know what the spread is. Didn't even
look.
It's
4.5. 4.5. Big number. Okay.
4.5. 27-21. Maybe 24-21. No, there you go. Colts just scored again. Yeah. Poor Jets. Mike White. Unfortunate. Yeah, under 49.5. I can't do anything. I
would agree with you in all intents and purposes, but it's A&M Auburn. First off, A&M's never beaten Auburn in College Station since joining the SEC. What's up with that? Don't get that one. So, yeah, head scratcher here. For some reason, A&M's defense can stop everything and anybody except for halfback wheels out of the backfield, which Auburn loves to run against us. They've scored on in every game against us, I believe. I've seen it, and it's every year. And I said, how do they not figure this shit out? So I'm going to go to the over. I think the defense just struggles this week. I do like A&M to win this game, but I think it's going to be like a 31-28 game. Just kind of sniff us right over that top right there. 50, about 60 points played. I think this is the spot here where we hit the over. I do like the Aggies in this game. In a close game, I don't think they cover. This is a 12-13, good matchup, 13-14, whatever the hell they are. These are two pretty even teams, I think, for this spot. So, yeah, I'm not going to force you. I'm not going to put the gun to your head and make you pick this over or pick this spread.
I will retire from this podcast if you make me pick an A&M.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Jazz and A&M are off limits here.
You're too invested at this point. Hey, you might be stuck with the Jazz if we're talking NBA Finals. You might be stuck. There's no option.
Jazz don't like to win playoff games. They just like to have the best record in the regular season. They like to win 70 games in the regular season, then get ousted in the second round.
True. All right, next game. Let's go hoops. Bucks Knicks Friday night. More basketball for the people to watch. We're rolling into the season. Yeah, let me pull up this line here. I don't think I have it pulled up yet because I am not as prepared. All right, line's 5. Interesting. Bucks struggling a little bit. Maybe a little bit of trophy hangover here. I mean, they did lose P.J. Tucker. Kind of hurts them a little bit. But both teams, Knicks playing good again, 5-3. Bucks 4-4. Games in Milwaukee. Knicks getting 5 points here. Give me some basketball breakdown, Scoot. You've been watching a lot of hoops lately.
I've been watching a little bit of hoops, but I can't say I've been watching too many Knicks or Bucks games. Knicks have been pretty atrocious the past
decade, 20 years,
but they had a decent season last year. Bucks coming off their big NBA final victory. They're 5 points. I mean, I can't say much about the Knicks or the Bucks. I don't know too much about them. Obviously, Giannis. Obviously,
it's a lot
Randall,
of big men.
Obviously,
it's a lot of big men.
Obviously, K-Ris, Middleton. I just kind of like the Bucks at home -5. That's really as much as I have. I really don't know much about the Knicks. They just have a few guys that have been playing well.
What you mean? They got Kemba Walker. They got cardiac Kemba.
Yeah, I didn't even know they had Kemba Walker. So you think I've watched a lot of basketball, but I haven't really watched that much. I've been watching. There's been a few baseball games that have been on.
Baseball's over now. It's over.
Last weekish, so I've been kind of focused on that. But now that that's over, might need to kind of focus in on basketball a little bit. But I'd say Giannis -5, K-Ris, and Drew Holiday.
I'm going to agree. Just for the same reason I said earlier. Friday night, people are going to get out. The fans are going to be packed. You love to see it. Road games early in the season tend to like home teams a lot early. Teams aren't really getting into, the swing of things yet. It is just the start of November, so your feet are getting a little wet, but not too wet here. Bucks need a home win. They're not gotten off to the start that they want to get off to. Bucks still trying to, they repeat. They're a good team. They have the best player in the league in, Giannis, so they're going to have to win some games here. A lot of teams out east playing pretty well. Charlotte playing well. The Bulls playing well. Sixers playing surprisingly well. So, yeah, I like the Bucks here, -5. But, hey, who knows? Maybe the Knicks are going to surprise us all, Scott, and the Knicks are finally good at basketball again. Might be. All right, last game.
Early basketball is always pretty tough to pick for some reason. It's always
but it's the most bet on.
Nobody really has a feel on early basketball. It takes about month and a half to really get a feel for teams. Like, the Lakers. The Lakers have all those players, but they're all obviously washed up and old. But
they're still playing okay. They're still doing pretty good.
They're playing okay, but they started off really slow.
They're third in the West, though. They're not too slow. They're slow. They're old man slow. They're not really slow.
They're old man slow, but you just never know with those teams. So it takes a month or so to finally kind of figure out about basketball.
But don't worry. What we do know is the Pelicans are bad and the Warriors are good. So we do know that. We do know that.
The Warriors will be getting Klay Thompson back relatively soon. So that's one more weapon they'll have.
All right. Last one. Sunday Night Football. Game loses a little bit of a little sizzle here. We got the Titans at the Rams. It was looking to be a great matchup, especially since newly acquired Von Miller for the LA Rams. Man went to bed 4-4, woke up 7-1. Not much better than that. But yeah, no Derrick Henry here. Titans did get the win at Indianapolis in overtime. Tough game, but 6-2, 7-1 teams, two good teams. Line is 7.5 right now for the Rams. Who do you like in this spot?
So I feel like this line might be a little bit of a trick here. I think a lot of bettors are taking LA just because of Von Miller. They just playing against a Derrick Henry-less Titan team, just like you said.
68-32 the bets are right now, so not too bad.
68-32, yeah. I mean, it's not super lopsided like the Baylor line, but still think a touchdown and a half is too much. Sunday Night Football. Never know what happens on Sunday Night Football. I feel like those are always relative. I mean, those are typically pretty close. Maybe I'm just making shit up. I don't think I just don't know anything. But I'll take Tennessee plus 7.5. Jaron is probably gonna be happy about that one. I wish he would listen to this podcast. I'm sure he doesn't. But Jaron will be happy about that.
Bad friend.
Derrick Henry. I think a lot of bettors are taking the Rams because of no Derrick Henry.
AD all day. Give them fresh legs.
They might bring back your boy.
He's back.
Bring back your boy.
He's ready. He's ready to go.
Is he ready though? He's still pretty fucking old.
He's younger than all of us.
True. How old is he?
No, I'm talking about from a biological standpoint. I remember when he tore his ACL, they cut open his knee and they said
back in 2 weeks.
So when they
he was walking a week later, no problem.
Yeah, no, they cut open his knee and the doctor said it looked like the knee of a baby. It was like a 28-year-old man and it looked like the knee of a child inside there. So this man is a genetic freak. So he might be back. There you go.
But I mean, Tennessee, AJ Brown, Julio Jones hasn't been doing much actually.
No.
But still got AJ Brown.
Been playing very well.
LA's got names, but it's NFL. As some of the Barstool guys like to say, they're all professional players. They all get paid to play football, so 7.5 points might be a little too much. Tennessee plus 7. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Hey, everybody gets paid to play football now if you go to Division I college, so that's a bad logic now, Barstool. I'm going to call it out on this. I'm going to agree with you here. I think Tannehill plays good in this spot. Tennessee likes to keep games close. They've been throwing the ball a lot more. Henry really hasn't done much the last 2 weeks, so they have been throwing the ball a lot. Jalen Ramsey is a scary man, though. Jalen Ramsey does tend to take top receivers out. So that means Julio Jones might be having himself a day, and I'll take that. Julio against a number 2 corner. Julio still got, he's still got something left in the tank. The only issue is Ryan Tannehill will be running for his life, probably. Hard to block Aaron Donald. A lot harder to block Aaron Donald and Von Miller. Tough spot here, but Matt Stafford in Sunday night tends to, is this his MVP spot? Probably. But I think he goes back to a little stat pat for it, plays a little shaky right now, and doesn't have the best game in the world. So I do like the Rams to win this game, but 7 and the hook is a little too much for me to swallow. So I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go with the Rams in this spot. Or not the Rams, the Titans in this spot, getting 7.5. All right, run me down your picks this week for the viewers so they can all keep track of it.
Alrighty, so let me pull them up here. So we got Colorado State, Wyoming under 41 for the brand, 33 to win, 30. We have TCU plus 7 against Baylor at home, 33 to win, 30. Hopefully the one viewer is excited about that one. My Lobos, UNLV under 45.5, 44 to win, 40. Bigger bet on that one. We have a little anytime touchdown parlay. Damian Harris to score. Dalvin Cook to score. Parlay is going to be plus 255. It's 30 to win, 76.5. And my lock of the week, the Utah Utes at Stanford, 100 to win, 91. Utah is looking pretty good. They're pretty underrated, so hopefully they can win by more than a touchdown. And then A&M Auburn under 49.5. Take the Bucks minus 5 and take the Titans plus 7.5.
All right. Now let's see. All right, I got Liberty plus 9.5 at Ole Miss. I got the Baylor Bears in our head-to-head, minus 7. Cincinnati at home against the Browns minus 2.5. Got the Arizona Cardinals on the road at the Niners plus 1.5. My lock is the Golden State Warriors at home against the New Orleans Pelicans. And I like the over in the A&M Auburn game. I like the Bucks minus 5, and I like the Titans getting 7.5. Oh yeah, and our upset of the week, Bears upset of the week, Nebraska plus. what was it, like 485 on the money line against Ohio State.
It's like, almost 500. So
But big money, no whammies, no whammies over there. All right, so that's going to do it for us this week. Again, if you like us, share us, let the people know. More viewers, we appreciate it. Wherever you listen to us, check out the video stuff on YouTube. If not, you're listening Spotify, Podbean, wherever we're getting it to you. And
also check us in on Action. We have all of our bets on there. We got all of our records. Got our money on there. You can kind of tune in and see how we're doing on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm Scott _Long. Pete's Pete Delmo. I'm just Pete Delmo 15.
Yeah, Pete Delmo 15.
Demo 15 Action Network. It's a great app if you're a big gambler. If you're just listening to look at my pretty face, that's fine. Scott Long 11, Pete Delmo 15. Follow us on Action Network. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. I know Pete's having a lot of fun as well, even though he's not doing as good as me.
Oh, barely. This is as close as it can get.
But just follow us, support us a little bit. Get our names out there. It's been a lot of fun, and we'll do some more special stuff coming up soon, maybe at the end of the year for bowl season, and maybe we'll reset our bank accounts at some point.
Oh,
we'll see.
shit.
But,
you might need it because I know you're going downhill after this. All right, yeah. So we'll see you all next Friday.